Women and men and people affected by war and conflict are generally vulnerable. And people living in a stable and fairly decent conditions with access to services. Women in particular are vulnerable not because they were born like that. They are vulnerable because of pre-existing inequality and discrimination that affects them more. So for example, if we were to look at the data, 60% of preventable maternal death happens in crisis-affected countries. The United Nations verified over 3,300 cases of conflict-related sexual violence in 2021, and that is 800 more than in 2020. So yes, women are vulnerable to sexual gender-based violence, to loss of livelihood, to losing family members, to be dying from maternal and sexual and other kind of reproductive health issues because of pre-existing inequality. Women are also missing from many of the decision-making spaces when it comes to conflict resolution, peace agreement, when it comes to humanitarian response. Women need stronger support. And I think one thing we need to remember is that while women are vulnerable, if we look at the stories about conflict resolution, community peace building, women are already playing a very critical role at the community level, bringing community members together because they're natural connectors. They run a family, they're connected to their communities, and they often are very good at mediating peace. UN Women did a study, a global study, and that looks at the global study looking at past peace agreement from 1992 until 2019. And what it shows is that when women engage in peace negotiation, whether as negotiator, mediators, or those who are signatory, the peace agreement is likely to be successful. And peace agreement can also last longer. So we have a data that indicates that women's engagement, women's leadership, participation in peace processes are likely to have a better peace outcome in a conflict and crisis settings. But yet, if we look at the worldwide figure now, less than 13% of peace negotiators are women around the world. 7 out of 10 peace processes in the world since the Cold War do not have women as signature. So there is absence of women's voice, absence of women's leadership in key peace processes around the world. And that absence needs to be addressed through a systematic approach. Right? It cannot just be bringing a couple of women on the sideline as observer in a conflict setting and saying observe. It has to come, meaning women needs to be supported, there needs to be seats, there needs to be training, there needs to be space for women to contribute meaningfully and make an impact. I wonder if the world would look different had women been in the leadership role and in making this world a better place. If women were really in the forefront of the political systems and economic system from all around the world, would we have a different dynamics? Would we have perhaps less suffering? I keep wondering about this. Of course, I don't have the answer, but my hunch, my personal belief and hunch is perhaps. So we must capitalize on the real and the potential capabilities that women have in peace building, in conflict resolution, and in sustainable development.